Hi guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the custom Art FIBAE, hopefully I pronounced that right, Black Edition. Now these earphones can be found for around 450 euros, which equates to around £390. Shout out to Custom Art for actually sending me these out for review. Now in this review I'll be comparing them to all different types of earphones. I really suggest you guys check in the description below for a full set of suggestions of all different price ranges. To give you an idea of what I've got in front of me, I've got HiFiMan's RE800 and 2000 at hand, and I've also got the Brainwavz B400 and P.EAR.S SH2s. So in this review, I directly compare them to these earphones, which all come in at different price ranges, but nevertheless, it's a direct comparison to these 450 euro earphones. Now within the case, which is a black little box, you get a small blue carrying case, again hard shell carrying case, which can be handy on the go. I would like the soft carrying pouch as well. You got a Peli 1010 case as well for your travel journeys. Silicone tips, small, medium, large, and a dual flange. A salt shaker for if you want to dance some salsa, and a cleaning tool. Pretty basic in terms of what you get. Again, a soft carrying pouch would have been great. Potentially some foam tips as well would have been a great addition, or even triple flange tips as well. Now in terms of the design and build quality of the earphones, I must say I'm very impressed with what Custom Art have done. Not only from the cable, which is very kind of almost effortless in terms of storing away and kind of like untangling, and even the cable kinch, which is very easy to use. And I know this might seem trivial to some, but I must say they've done a fantastic job with the cable. The build quality and design as well, very lightweight, very nice to wear over the ear, and in terms of the looks of them, I mean, they look fantastic. I mean, they've got a sort of see-through sort of design where you can kind of see the drivers and what's going in inside. You can customize all of this, the cable, you can have a microphone cable as well, and you can have a different sort of faceplate if you so wish as well. So these are all customized, however that adds an extra premium to the price. Now the default cable is terminated by a right angle 3.5mm jack, which is gold plated, and other than that there is a right and left indicator within the earphones themselves via the serial number, and a little dot on the right hand side of the cable, and a blue dot on the left hand side of the cable to indicate which one's right and left. Now in terms of the look of them, as you'll be able to see, they do look really nice, and at least in my case they fit really well. There's a memory cable at the top which helps you with fitting and helping them stay secure if you're on the move. And using them on my daily commutes, I didn't have any problems whatsoever. In terms of sound isolation, they've got a relatively decent sound isolation, and that's simply due to their physical size. I mean, they're not massive, and they're not going to compete with the sound isolation of full customs, be it for their size or the fact that they're actually sitting deeply in your ear canal and made for your ears, but still they provide enough sound isolation which made me pretty content, especially in comparison to, say, the RE800s, which are very small. The FIBAE Black really does a great job over here. So in terms of design, overall build quality, and in terms of comfort, I must say top notch from Custom Art, no complaints whatsoever, and you know, I wish all manufacturers would kind of have this sort of attention to detail. Just a little note, these are terminated in terms of the earphones, they're connected via a 2-pin cable, and the cable is made out of silver, so just bear that in mind. Now let's move on to the most important part, is the sound quality. How do these things sound? Well, as I said, I compared them to all different types of earphones, and it was quite intriguing to hear differences. These earphones house a single balanced armature driver, which to some might ring some alarm bells, because most earphones at this price offer triple, quadruple, and even 6 drivers per ear. But if the RE2000s, which to me are the best sounding universal earphones that I've heard to date, are anything to go by, drivers aren't everything. And I must say that it's pretty much been always the case from when I've been reviewing earphones, that more drivers you shove on there doesn't mean you can get better sound. Of course, you can have things which might be dedicated to certain aspect of the sound, but doesn't mean automatically better sound. So how did these sound? Well, the single balanced armature driver does a pretty good job at delivering a very detailed mid-range. I was very impressed when I was comparing them to the Brainwavz B400, if I could just untangle them from the cables that are over here. The Brainwavz B400, they sounded a lot more forward sounding, a lot more open, and a lot more, just the mid-range just delivered what I would expect from a balanced armature driver. It's not to say that the B400s were bad, far from it. It's just that when compared to the FIBAE Black, it just didn't sound as detailed and as impressive. So I must say its biggest attribute over here is definitely its mid-range, and if I haven't made that clear enough, I'm pretty sure you'll get it by the end of the review. Now moving on to the bass, that wasn't as impressive. Here it was kind of a classic case of a balanced armature driver. You got plenty of precision, but not very much amount of kind of a quantity, so more quality over quantity. The sub bass didn't really extend, so I was really much lacking in terms of that sound, especially when I compared them to the RE800s or even the RE2000s. The bass, especially the mid bass slam, was pretty much, not saying non-existent, but didn't really keep me in tune whilst listening to R&B music. Then moving on from there, you got the quality of the bass. Now the quality of the bass was very precise, very nice to hear, but given that it was pretty subdued, I didn't again feel that in tune with it. Then going to the high frequencies, I must say I was very impressed with the way that they delivered high frequencies, but they did sound a little bit rolled off at times, especially when compared to the RE800s, the RE2000s, or the SH2s. They just didn't deliver that highs that I would expect, that kind of toe-tapping sound that I wanted. They kind of rolled off at the top end. And also I should mention in terms of the upper mids, there was a slight little peak. Not in terms of bad peak, but like it felt like there was a little tail off that happened. And therefore a kind of like something that's been kind of EQ'd within the earphones themselves in order to counter that. So in all honesty, the highs, I just expected a little bit more from them, a little bit more energy from them. It just didn't really deliver that sort of energy that I expected, but still that detailed mid-range really came through. In terms of the soundstage, they sounded pretty good, but not as open or as impressive sounding as all the other earphones I've mentioned. They just didn't deliver that sort of width that I would expect from a set of €450 earphones. In terms of instrument separation, again it was there, and yes, I had plenty of hours of burn-in. I think it's about 50-60 hours, which is way more than I normally do for most earphones, because I usually give them about 20 to 30 hours, simply because I use them on my daily commute. And I found that the soundstage just wasn't as detailed as I wanted it to be. Again, just lacking a little bit in comparison to its competitors. Then, moving in terms of the width and the depth, the overall sound presentation over here was very much more mid-centric. So if I was listening to R&B music, it just didn't sound that exciting. But then when I started putting some classical music on, or some, say, not jazz, but songs that don't really deliver that sort of bass sort of hit, these earphones really came to life. And it really also depended in terms of what source I put them through. When I say that, I mean a lot of people will say, oh, what, you haven't used them with the right source, you plug them to your phone. Well, no, I use them on the cord Yugo 2 at home, the iFi XDSD on the go, and then yes, of course, I plug them with my phone as well via 3.5mm jack to test how they would do. They're very easy to drive, I must say, so in comparison to the HiFiMan equivalent, they just didn't need to be driven as hard. So overall, what do I think of their sound presentation? Well, it's kind of a mixed bag. I really like their mid-range reproduction. I'm kind of disappointed but not getting more of a mid-bass slam, a mid-bass extension, and a little bit disappointed not to hear that high-end extension, but at the same time, happy to see that they're not very sibilant. Then again, on the same case over here, instrument separation was decent but not amazing. So overall, would I pay £390 for them? Unfortunately, even though they're really well built and they look fantastic and they've got everything going for them, you know, they could have a little bit more accessories in terms of tips that are included, I can't really see myself recommending them. If I wanted more of a sort of analytical sound, I would probably look at the Westone W40s. If I wanted more of a fun sound, I'd get the HiFiMan RE800s. Also, if you still want an analytical sound, the Shure SE535s are also a great alternative. Again, all these alternatives will be down in the description below. So anyway, that's pretty much it. That sums up my opinion, my unbiased, unpaid, independent opinion. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. If you have, make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what earphones you would pick for around £390 or €450, and let me know what you think about these earphones if you got them. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Take care and bye bye.